Brook Lynn receives news about Finn, and Spoiler learns they are a match to save Lulu. Tuesday, October 15, 2024. Today on General Hospital, Brook Lynn and Tracy disagree about Violet, Cody's dreams are dashed, and Ned hires a PI. Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. In the sunroom of the Quartermain mansion, Drew is on the phone discussing his campaign when Willow appears. She tries to rush out, but he stops her. She says she was looking for Michael to give him his keys. Drew offers to give them to him as they are meeting today. Willow leaves them on a table and tries to leave, but Drew stops her and says they need to talk about the fact she can't even be in the same room as him. Suddenly, Ned appears and asks if he's interrupting. Willow says she was just leaving and asks Drew to give Michael his keys. More. Rail Andrews updates fans on his General Hospital status alone. Ned tells Drew the ELQ board has agreed to return Valentine's stocks to the company, but it will take time. Ned says he and Michael will handle it and keep him apprised of their decisions. Drew says Michael is coming to meet him so they can discuss it together. Ned assumed he would have other things to do, as he seemed busy when he came and would have other things to do, as he seemed busy when he came in. Michael appears, and they discuss the plans to divvy up Valentine's stock. Ned suggests they divide them among the next generation of Quartermains to keep ELQ in the family. He says he can vote their proxies until they come of age, and the same goes for Drew's stocks, which he needs to put in a trust once he's elected. Drew feels that time hasn't come, and Michael agrees they can table this discussion for now. Irate, Ned thought they were going to work together as a family and storms out. In the living room, Brook Lynn catches Tracy on the phone talking to a lawyer about suing the parents of Violet's bully. Brook Lynn snatches the phone from her and says this won't help, and she and Chase are taking care of things. Olivia enters and asks what the racket is all about. Brook Lynn tells Tracy they have already talked to the school, but Tracy feels the school will put their well-being above Violet's. Ace begins crying over the baby monitor, and Tracy leaves to care for him. Olivia can't believe Tracy wants to sue the parents of a 9-year-old, but calls it badass. Brook Lynn tells her not to encourage Tracy, as she's making everything worse. Olivia believes Tracy is fixating on helping Violet because she can't do anything for Lulu. Suddenly, Ned interrupts, fuming about Michael and Drew, freezing him out again. Olivia drags him out of the room and tells him she loves him, but can't do this right now. He knows she's got a lot going on with Dante and Lulu, so he'll figure this out on his own. Meanwhile, Michael and Drew discuss Ned's attempt to use the stocks and kids to take control of ELQ. Drew wants Michael to take over ELQ when he wins this election. Michael says Tracy and Brook Lynn won't vote for that, so Drew says he'll make Michael the trustee of his shares, and that should get Ned out. Elsewhere, Brook Lynn and Willow run into one another. Brook Lynn knows she was a teacher and needs her advice. She explains what happened with Violet and that Tracy believes the school will always put itself first over the students. Willow calls it a cynical way of looking at it, but Tracy is probably right. However, Willow suggests that they work with the school, teachers, and counselors to help Violet. Willow advises that if they don't want to work with her, she should be pushy and raise her voice. Willow knows this is hard. Brook Lynn says it is, and she's only a temporary guardian. It makes her wonder if she could be a parent. Willow says parenting is hard, but the joy you get from it is worth it. Brook Lynn then receives a text from Chase, who tells her that Finn is getting out of rehab. Willow thinks Violet will be so happy to be with her dad again. Brook Lynn seems sad about the idea of not having Violet around anymore. More. A match and a surprise visitor in GH promo in the kitchen. Cody talks to Sasha. He's learned Serenity, the place he grew up, is on the market, but they are asking $6 million for it. Money he'll never get his hands on. He had always dreamed of turning it into a ranch and animal sanctuary, and it's always been a special place for him. She says he should go for it, but he thinks it will be off the market in no time. He admits he had one idea: to ask Tracy for a loan. Sasha isn't sure she'd do it, but it can't hurt to ask as she does like him. Tracy appears and says Ace is awake and needs more pudding cups, so Sasha leaves to get one. Tracy then asks Cody why he has a smirk on his face. Sasha returns and says Cody was just telling her about an interesting idea. Cody claims he was considering switching the horses from hay to alfalfa. Sasha gives Tracy the pudding, and she leaves. Sasha thinks Cody not telling Tracy was a good idea, and he needs to devise a solid business plan and pitch it to her. Cody doesn't think he should, as he doesn't want her to think he's using her for her money. That would be what the Olton would do. She says he'll have to find someone else to invest, and tells him to look at it that way, as an investment. Cody says he could turn on his charm and slyly talk someone into investing, but that would again be returning to his old ways, which he doesn't want to do. He laments that he has a great life as is, so what more could he want? He gives her a kiss and walks out. In the foyer, Olivia checks on Tracy and what's going on with her. Tracy admits she can't help Finn. Lulu is dying, and all she can do is threaten to put a toddler in cuffs. Olivia comforts her. More 50 soap couples you probably forgot about out in public. Ned meets with Felicia's PI friend, Elaine, and wants her to investigate an affair he believes is happening in his family. He needs solid proof. He tells her that it's Drew and Willow, and news of their affair comes from a reliable source. She says she'll be in touch if she finds proof of the affair. Ned leaves her money for the job at the hospital. Laura sits with Lulu, encouraging her to hang on. Martin appears and hugs his baby sister. She's shocked his beard is gone, and he claims he's taking a new look for a test drive. He suggests they take a walk, and she agrees. As they walk, Martin says he was tested when he heard about Lucky being unable to donate. She changes the topic to his appearance and asks about his transformation and what it's really about. He admits that after what happened with Lucy, he decided a change was in order. He got a haircut and a shave and even got a vocal coach to ditch the fried chicken accent. Laura noticed that was gone as well, but says she likes the old Martin too. Even Maurice Bernard thinks Sonny went too far. Martin and Laura return to Lulu's room and find Cyrus sitting with her. He explains that he was visiting other patients and noticed she was alone, but now that they are here, they can pray for her together. Martin suggests to Cyrus that they step out and talk about Mom. Cyrus and Martin step out, and Martin tells Cyrus that Laura is going through a lot and doesn't need him badgering her. Cyrus says he is not bothering Laura. He's giving her a greater gift than even Martin can imagine. At the nurse's station, Liz speaks with the donation service over the phone and asks them to get her the name of Lulu's match. Isaiah appears, and he just came from PT. He wanted to check in on Lucky. Liz breaks the news that Lucky wasn't a candidate for donation, but they caught a break, and Lulu may have a chance. However, she hasn't told the family yet, as she's waiting to find out the person's identity. Their talk turns to Lucky's whereabouts, and Isaiah understands Lucky and his desire to flee. He walked away from his own practice after a surgery went wrong, and he ran away as well. Liz says he worked in refugee camps, which isn't exactly running away to something easier. Isaiah says he shouldn't have run away, and he doesn't think Lucky should either, so he needs to stay here. Liz hopes he can connect with Lucky, as he could use a friend like him. Suddenly, the computer dings and Liz learns the identity of the match. Liz goes to Lulu's room, where Laura is, and says they've found a match for Lulu. Laura then runs to see Kevin and tells him that a match has been found for Lulu. She doesn't know who it is yet, as the match has yet to be informed. She wants to have hope, which is more than she had 15 minutes ago. However, this person still has to pass the screenings, and in the worst-case scenario, they won't want to donate. Sam meets with Dante at the batting cage and says they need to practice. They have some games coming up, and they can't lose. Dante knows she's trying to take his mind off Lulu. They hit some balls, and Sam also gets them some hot dogs. They sit down, and Dante tells Sam how for a second he considered putting his career on the line to stop his father from confessing after learning about the evidence that happened to clear Alexis. Sam thinks given everything he is going on, it's no shock that lines are being blurred for him where family is concerned right now. Dante says right now he's worried about Rocco and the promise he made him, which he may not be able to keep, to find a donor for Lulu. Sam suddenly sees General Hospital calling her phone, and it's Terry on the line. Terry needs Sam to come in as they have something to discuss. Back at the hospital, Dante arrives at the nurses' station and chats with Liz, when suddenly they hear monitors going off in Lulu's room. They rush in, and Isaiah says she's crashing. Liz and Isaiah jump into action. Meanwhile, Sam meets with Terry in her office, who tells Sam a match has been found for Lulu. Sam thinks they should tell Dante, but Terry tells her she's the match.